What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Hello, awesome people of the internet, and happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday, and welcome to another live edition of Awesome People of the Internet Friday Hangout. A time for us to chat about a couple topics in women's basketball and just to rewind, decompress from the week and talk about the game that we love of women's basketball. Hope y'all are doing well. Happy Friday, everybody. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about today. So we have quite a bit to talk about. This week, the topic is top 16. The NCAA committee has released their second version of the top 16 for the NCAA tournament, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about where teams went, whether they were up or down, or whether they stayed the same. We're going to also talk about just thoughts about what we can expect for the next couple of weeks as the season ends on Sunday and we head into conference play next week. There's some stuff that we got to talk about because conference play conference tournament play is going to determine a lot, I think, and when it comes down to the actual seeding of this top 16. Yeah, we got a lot more to talk about. So yeah, that's what we're gonna get into today. So I do hope y'all had a fantastic week. Let me know from the chat, guys. Let me know what was your favorite part about this week. It doesn't have to be women's basketball related, but what was your favorite part this week? Let me know. Let me know, guys. Let me know what your favorite part was. So I do want to get into yeah, let's get into y'all comments. Get into y'all comments. Thanks for joining, y'all. I appreciate it. Why does these comments every time I do a live, the comments like start off huge. KA said had to catch up on last week's Awesome People of the Internet today, and this is why I rock with you. Felicia Leggett Jack of Syracuse is my coach of the year pick 2. She's something special. She is something. She is something special. I really, really like her. Yeah, y'all listen to JB. JB says, might as well start crushing the like and subscribe button as well. Yep. As y'all join in, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate it. All right. So let's see what else y'all got to say. Yes, Karan. Yes, that is correct. Yes. The way stuff is situated right now, Iowa and South Carolina would meet each other in the Elite Eight. We're gonna talk specifically about that more in just a sec, because I think that is a huge deal for women's college basketball, for them two to be in the same regional, and to meet each other before the Final Four. All right. JP says, down goes Texas and Virginia Tech this week too. Anybody can get got. Yeah, that is the motto, y'all. T-shirts are coming. Probably sweatshirts actually are coming. One of the two. Holly is working out. Okay, all right. Got to get the workout in. I need to actually start getting back working out too. So yeah. Bean Up says LSU is on fire. I do think LSU is looking very, very good. Because yeah, we're gonna talk more about LSU in just a sec, because I think they are peaking at the right moment, which is why it leads me to ask the question: should LSU be a number 2 seed? Because what I'm seeing from this team, I'm like, they're looking pretty nice. Like, maybe they shouldn't be a number 3 seed. But we're gonna talk more about that in just a sec. Oh, shout out to E4. E4 just turned 50. Happy birthday, E4. I hope you had a fantastic day for your birthday. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Yeah, just shout out to E4. Shout out to E4 for the birthday. What up, Irvin? What up, Irvin? Hope y'all doing well. Keithis said, watch the Terry Crews episode of Club Shay Shay. Very inspiring. Okay, I gotta check that out. I saw it was released, but I didn't actually check it out yet. Y'all, Club Shay Shay is doing some fantastic stuff. I'm just saying. Yeah, Robert has a point. Robert says, you're not a number 2 seed losing to Auburn and Mississippi State. We're gonna talk more about that. But yeah, that is for sure an argument against against LSU sort of being in that number 2 spot. But yeah, we got people telling E4 happy birthday, E4, happy birthday. All right, so let's get into the topic of conversation today, because we saw this week that the NCAA tournament committee, they decided to reveal the second edition of their top 16. This is the second and final one that we will see before the NCAA tournament is actually revealed. So if you do not know, the full 68 team bracket will be announced on Selection Sunday, which is March the 17th. And that is 7 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. So that is the date when we will officially find out all 68 teams that made it to the NCAA tournament. But in order to sort of build hype and get people talking about the NCAA tournament, they decided to do these reveals where they talk about who they think at that moment is going to be in that top 16. It doesn't mean much of anything, but again, it really is an opportunity for us as fans to get excited and whatnot. It doesn't really mean much though, but because we like to talk about women's basketball and we like to talk about these things. I did want to just sort of mention it because I thought it was pretty interesting. So when it comes to the top 16, we have South Carolina, Ohio State, Stanford, and UCLA in the top 4. UCLA is new in the top 4. They were not in the top 4 earlier for that first round. They were moved up mainly because Lauren Betts is still doing Lauren Betts things. We also have Virginia Tech, Texas, Iowa, and USC in that 2 line for the second seed. We then have LSU, UConn, NC State, and Oregon State for that number 3 line. And to finish it out, we have Colorado that just dropped like a rock. Indiana, Gonzaga, and Oklahoma in that 4 line. So that is the top 16 right now. Now, let's sort of talk a little bit more about this. So when we look at not just the top 16, but where teams are placed, it gets pretty interesting, right? So we see in here, we kind of see that Colorado was a team that was ranked very highly initially. As I said earlier, they were in the number 1 seed. And I wasn't sure about whether or not they should be in the number 1 seed. And then after they were placed in the number 1 seed for that first round of top 16 reveals, they then dropped like a rock. They lost 3 straight games on the road. They lost to Colorado, lost to Utah, they lost to USC, they lost to UCLA. And it was a tough stretch for Colorado. And because of that stretch of huge losses, they dropped 9 spots. So they were in they were ranked top 4, and then they moved all the way down, and now they are in the fourth seed. They're in the 4th seed for the rankings, which is a thing. That is for sure a thing. Shout out to hold on, where is it? Where did it go? Here we go. Shout out to Aubrey for the super chat. Aubrey says, I think the conference tournaments will shake a lot of things up. So the teams you see now at the top might not be there. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely agree, Aubrey. Absolutely agree. That is for sure. A factor. That is for sure a factor. Because the conference tournament is going to tell us a lot about some of these teams. It's going to tell us a lot. And I think that will absolutely affect the way everything shakes out in the end, which is why I think in the end, LSU will be a 2 seed, but we're going to talk more about LSU in just a sec. To just sort of stay in on this Colorado downfall, things to note about Colorado is that there's even a chance that they might actually slip out of that number 4 seed. Colorado ends their regular season on Sunday. They play Washington State, and Washington State is good this year. So I am not sure if I'm not really sure if Colorado is going to be able to get a win against Washington State. If they do lose against Washington State, then they're out. I think they're going to be out of the top 16 teams. So yeah, that's for sure a thing for Colorado. It's very interesting how this team looked very good. And then lately they just had a huge string of bad luck that has led them to, again, as I mentioned earlier, they lost to Utah, they lost to USC, they lost to UCLA. That was a tough stretch, and all 3 of those games were on the road. So it's possible that Colorado does very well in the Pac-12 tournament, but also I'm not totally sure if they will. Like I could absolutely see a scenario where Colorado drops completely out of the top 16. I could absolutely see that happening. So I did just want to mention that because that, to me, that Colorado drop was like the most dramatic drop. So I was like, wow, okay. because they just had a terrible stretch. They're probably going to be a 5 or 6 seed when we actually get to the NCAA tournament. But we will see what happens. We will see what happens. Coran says Colorado started so well this year. They did. Yes, Leak, absolutely. Leak says, in other words, you're saying Colorado is on the verge of getting got. Yeah, I mean they've gotten got for the last for the last 3 games, and they're gonna likely continue to get got. So that is for sure a thing. That is for sure a thing. Let's see what else y'all got to say. Shakim says, Quita, I still don't have an option to make a donation. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I've heard like different complaints about people not being able to use that donate feature on YouTube. I'm trying to work up a Patreon, so hopefully I'll have that stood up pretty soon-ish. But yeah, I do appreciate you wanting to donate. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Any other comments about Colorado? Let's see. Any other comments about Colorado? Okay, I don't think so. Okay. All right, so going back to the top 16 list, a couple of things to note. Ohio State did move up one spot. They're still a number 1 seed, but they did move up 1 spot. Ohio State is they're just very good. They're just very, very good. Now, a tough thing, I think, is the fact that Ohio State is in the same conference, is going to be in the same regional as of right now with LSU. I think that's going to be pretty interesting because only one of these teams can make it out of the Elite 8, and so can make it out of the final. Only one of these teams can make it out. So I don't know. It should be pretty interesting. It should be pretty interesting. I did want to talk specifically also about Virginia Tech, because Virginia Tech is one of those teams that also had a dramatic jump from last reveal to this reveal, and I think that it just reflects on how great the ACC is as a conference, and really how great Virginia Tech has been. Virginia Tech has been good all year, but I feel like lately they have stepped it up another notch, and they're looking very good. They went up 5 spots from last time to this time. They are the number 2 seed. I do anticipate Virginia Tech staying at that number 2 seed spot. Yeah, and they're just looking pretty great. They're looking very, very great. I did want to specifically talk about the rematch that is going to be between South Carolina and Iowa. So South Carolina is a fantastic team. And they're the best team in the country right now. Likely will stay the best team in the country for a while now. And Iowa is a team that got them, you know. South Carolina was all good last year, and they got against Iowa. And this should be pretty interesting to see these teams both be in the same regional. I think that's going to be very, very interesting to look at. Shout out to hold on, what happened to it? Sometimes my stuff be disappearing. Shout out to Bear24 with the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Also, if y'all can hit that like button, that would be fantastic. We got 200 people in the chat, and we got 48 likes. If we can get to 150 likes, that would be fantastic. Why did I minimize their logo like that? Yeah, if y'all get that like button, that would be pretty awesome. Now, here's the deal. We have Iowa versus South Carolina. They're in the same regional. Now, in terms of redemption, this is going to be South Carolina's opportunity to be able to right the wrong of last year and how they got in the Final Four, to be able to beat Iowa to go on to another championship game. We will see what happens. Iowa got them last year. This Iowa team is not the team of last year. Neither is South Carolina the team of last year. Iowa does have quite a few starters from last year, and notably Gabby Marshall, Caitlin Clark, and Kate Martin from last year. And you have a South Carolina team that is completely different in terms of a starting lineup from last year to this year. And they still have that sort of defensive core, but also this is a South Carolina team that can score easier than they did last season. So I think that having these teams be in the same regional, I mean, as basketball fans, I mean, I would love to see them further, not in the same spot, so that way they can go against each other, you know, in the Final Four. But we will see them go against each other in the Elite Eight. So that is a thing, guys. I did just want to specifically call that out. Yes, for those who are wondering, I really do believe that South Carolina is going to beat Iowa. But in terms of the narrative around women's college basketball, this is a huge opportunity to bring more eyeballs to the game. I guarantee you the game that's going to be in the Elite Eight between Iowa and South Carolina, that's going to be one of the biggest rated games, in terms of viewership. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to watch that game, and I wish that they would be sort of in separate regionals, so that way we can watch them play. They are in Regional 1, that is in Albany. I would have loved to see either South Carolina or Iowa in Regional 4. So that way they didn't play each other. That's for sure going to be a thing. But yeah, I do see South Carolina beating Iowa. But I did want to specifically call that out because I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty interesting the fact that we will see that rematch earlier than we actually expected. All right, so let's see what y'all got to say about this rematch between Iowa, or likely rematch between Iowa and South Carolina. The thing is, it's not it's not a guarantee that both of these teams will make it to the Elite Eight because, as I say all the time, anybody can get got. That is a thing. Shout out to Aubrey. Thank you so much, Aubrey, for the super chat. Aubrey says that Region 4 is by far the weakest. Yes. I think I would agree with that. Yeah. So let's actually take a look again at that list. So for Regional 1, that's in Albany, we have South Carolina, Iowa, Oregon State, Oklahoma. Regional 2, we have Ohio State, USC, LSU, and Colorado. For Regional 4, we have UCLA, Virginia Tech, UConn, Gonzaga. Regional 3, we have Stanford, Texas, NC State, and Indiana. I would say the regionals with the biggest firepower is Regional 1 and Regional 2. In terms of, 1, talent of teams, 2, the hype around the teams. And 3 and 4, they're also talented teams for Regional 3 and 4, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing, right? It's not the same thing. Keefis says Pow will be hitting those threes unlike the squad from last year. I absolutely agree with that. Yes. I absolutely agree with that. Yes. I think that's the one of the biggest separators from for South Carolina from last year to this year is last year we saw they struggled to hit shots. And this year, not only is the likes of, Raven Johnson and Bree Hall more comfortable shooting three-pointers. You also have the likes of Tahina Powell, who is just Tahina Powell is just phenomenal. She really is in terms of being a consistent three-point shooter that can just light it up. You don't want to leave Tahina Powell open. You don't because you're going to get got. You're going to get got. And that is a thing that they didn't have last year that they do have this year, which is pretty cool. Hallie says, thank you so much for the super sticker, Hallie. They described it. It's a fan character laughing out loud with tears in their eyes. Okay. Thanks so much, Hallie. Also, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hallie, I think. Shout out to DizFan9212, who says, how does LSU get a 2 seed based off of their record? How far do you think they will go? And have they found their winning ways? So yes, that is a great segue for us to talk about LSU. Now, thank you so much, DizFan, for the super chat, and thanks for the question, because that is a topic that I want to talk about. So the question I have for the group is, should LSU be a number 2 seed when it all comes down to it for the NCAA tournament? And I see an argument for them being a number 2 seed. And I'm going to talk about my argument for that. And then I also, on the other hand, I do see an argument for them to stay at the number 3 seed. So I'm going to first talk about why I think they should be a number 2 seed. And then I'm going to talk about I'm going to poke holes in my argument and talk about why they shouldn't be the number 3 seed. So when you look at a team like LSU, they're a team that has a lot of talent, right? You see the likes of Flau'jae Johnson, Anissa Morrow, Angel Reese. You have Haley Van Lith. You have Michaela Williams, an amazing freshman. They have a lot of talent. And then on the bench, you have the likes of Last Year Poa, who can come in and bring some really good minutes. You also have Aaliyah Del Rosario, who is looking better and better and better and better and better. For the most part, every single time I see her, she looks better and more comfortable in college. So in terms of the talent on the team, they're a number 2 seed in terms of their talent. And again, I'm gonna poke holes in the exact argument that I'm saying right now in just a sec. So talent wise, very, very good, very, very talented team. Now, when you look at how they've played lately, you can see dramatic improvements. Yes, this is a team. Yes, this is a team that lost to Auburn. Yes, this is a team that lost to Mississippi State. Yes, this is the team that did that. This is the team that lost to Colorado. LSU has had some bad losses this season. However, I do believe that lately we have seen this team turn a corner. Could they have turned this corner earlier if they would have played tougher teams? Yes, absolutely. If they didn't play such a easy non-conference schedule, yes, I do think they would have turned the corner sooner. And you saw Angel Reese out for a little bit. You saw players not with the team anymore. But this is a team that is getting it together on the defensive end. And I think that is something that has impressed me lately, is that yes, LSU is winning against teams that they should win against. But it's not just their offensive play, it's their defensive play that I have found pretty impressive. I really have found that to be impressive. Georgia is a good team. Of course, Georgia is not, the tops of the SEC, but I thought the way that that LSU played defensively, they look good to me. They look like a very good team. They look like a team that is a number 2 seed. Yes. They had the cupcake schedule. Absolutely. And that is an argument that I'm about to poke holes in just a sec. You can absolutely say the fact that this is a team that played teams that they shouldn't have played, right? And this is a team that lost games that they shouldn't have lost. But lately, they look good. So let's look at the last several games for LSU. If we look at them versus Georgia only had 54 points in that game. You look at LSU versus Tennessee only had 60 points in that game. We look at that rematch between Auburn. Auburn did give them a really good challenge, but at the end of the day, LSU was able to make stuff happen. When you look at Texas A&M only had 58 points against them. Alabama, LSU has had quality wins over the last several games. Now, you can say that these are not against the best of the best teams. And absolutely, you have a point. Absolutely, you have a point. But yeah, I still think lately, if you look at this roster, and if you look at how they've been gelling together, not just on the offensive end with Haley Van Lith just finding her groove on this team, she really has turned the corner and found her groove. Haley Van Lith has always been an extremely talented player. Like, we saw how great she was at Louisville. Like, that's the question to me was never about Haley Van Lith's talent. It was about whether or not she could make it work for this team. And it feels like she has. In terms of her being the main point guard, yes, she starts off that way, but it's her and Poa kind of sharing that. In terms of her being able to take care of the ball, she's been doing that. She hasn't really had that many turnovers over the last several games. That's a good thing, right? You see defensively, she's trying a lot more. I feel it seems like she's trying a lot more on the defensive end. When you look at when you look at just overall, not just Haley Van Lith. Last year, Poa is doing her thing. You also have Flau'jae Johnson, Big Foe, who is just continuing to be a phenomenal player for this team. She doesn't get the amount of respect that she deserves because there just is a lot of star power on this roster. But Big Foe can get in the paint and get some shots up. She can defensively. Big Foe is that defensive player that can guard the best player on the other team. When you look at Anissa Morrow, who, yes, Anissa Morrow is from Chicago, so I gotta rep Anissa Morrow, not just because she's from Chicago, but also Anissa Morrow is phenomenal. Anissa Morrow should be in the running for SEC Player of the Year. I don't think she'll win it, but she should be. She should be in the running for that because Anissa Morrow has been pretty phenomenal in SEC play. And then of course you have Angel Reese, who yes also should be in that conversation for SEC Player of the Year. Has been pretty great. So yeah, that is something to talk about, right? They are a very talented team. Now, so all of that being said, that is sort of my argument for why LSU should be number 2. Also, I do in general, I put LSU over Texas. And so if you want to ask the question of, okay, if they're number 2, who would you replace? I would say I would replace them with Texas. So that is a thing. That is my argument for LSU being a number 2 seed. Now, let's give the argument against them being the number 2 seed. So, first and foremost, when you talk about LSU, the argument against them being the number 2 seed is the fact that they had a cupcake non-conference schedule. That is the argument. That is, to me, one of the biggest arguments against them being able to being able to make that number 2 seed is because of that. So that's my argument against. Okay, they should say the number 3 seed because 1, they had a very easy non-conference schedule. 2, they lost 2 games that they should not have lost. 1 against Mississippi State, 1 against Auburn. Both Mississippi State and Auburn, they are good teams. Yes, in terms of their record and whatnot, they're not that great. But in terms of them just sort of like giving teams runs for their money, they look, they look good, right? So the fact that LSU lost to those 2 teams, they lost to South Carolina, but I think that South Carolina game was they played very well in that South Carolina game, and had Angel Reese not been fouled out of that game, who knows? Maybe we would have saw a win. Who knows? Also, if y'all are watching this, if y'all hit that like button, that would be fantastic. We are trying to get to 150 likes for this live stream. Yeah, if y'all get that like button, that'd be fantastic. Also, if y'all have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Okay, so we are talking about the argument against LSU making their journey to the number 2 seed. So as I said, cupcake non-conference schedule. Also, the fact that they lost against Mississippi State and Auburn. That's really not good. And the fact that this team is just starting to get it together, when you have other teams like a Texas, right, who has been more consistent throughout the year. And so that's my argument against LSU being a number 2 seed. So yeah, I do want to hear what you all have to say about that. Because yeah, I could see a scenario where they're number 2, and I can also see an argument against them being number 2. So yeah, let me know in the chat, what y'all think about this. Let me know. Let's see. Ooh, y'all got a lot of comments. So I gotta go up to see what y'all are saying. Audrey says LSU is definitely a number 2 seed when they have good ball movement. I need them to be more consistent. Yeah. Consistency is going to be a thing for this team. Yes, absolutely. JB says, I think if you ask the number 1 seeds if they want to face LSU prior to the Final Four, we know the unanimous answer. Yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, they definitely don't want to face. They definitely don't want to face LSU. Nalin. Anyway, Nalin says, everyone talking about the bench play is for the regular season. The tournament is where stars shine. Well, I mean, that is fair. But also, if you don't have a bench, that means that, like, if you get in foul trouble, that's about over for you, you know. Bakari says, Reese, Morrow, Van Liff, Michaela Williams, and Big Foe are peaking. They are. Yes, Janae. Yes, South Carolina is the number 1. Yep. Bear 24 says, I promise you Mississippi State will win an NCAA game for the tournament. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Again, you know, as I say, anybody can get got. Anybody can win. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? This is all just predictions. Bree Wayne says, also, I think LSU meets Ole Miss in the SEC tournament semis. Yeah, I gotta look at that schedule. But yeah, they likely will be playing Ole Miss. Yep. Yeah, they did beat Virginia Tech. Yep. Yeah, so Michaela Williams is a very, very good player. I think that she was huge for this team early on in the season. And lately she hasn't, I mean, she's still been impactful for the team, but she hasn't been as impactful as she was early in the season. I think that's fine. I mean, it's not the biggest of deals. But yeah, I did want to sort of mention that. She does have to be a little bit more consistent for them to make a run. Karan says Anissa is a beast. Yes, she is. Absolutely. Anissa Morrow has been phenomenal for this team. I see some super chats that came through. Let's see. I don't know if I did I talk about this one already? I think I did. Yeah. Okay. Aubrey says, thank you so much for the super chat, Aubrey. Aubrey says, if the teams ahead of LSU loses, they'll be a number 2 seed. Yes, especially if these conference tournaments shake up and LSU get to their conference championship. Yes, yeah. If LSU can make it to the SEC conference championship game against South Carolina, I think yes, that does help to possibly elevate them to that number 2 seed. I think that if LSU does not make it to the SEC conference championship, they are not moving to the number 2 spot. But if they do, and if we see, some of the other teams not make it to their respective conference championship in the tournament, I think that'll affect some stuff. I think that'll for sure affect some stuff. Dion, thanks so much for super chat, Dion. Dion says, what's going on? Quita, appreciate the content. You're my number 1 go-to for women's basketball. And of course, Dion is a Tigers fan. Dion says, I'm happy they're ranked low so they can play with a chip. # most hated. All right. I mean, having a chip on your shoulder does help. The idea that everyone's out to get you and you need to show up and really destroy the competition. Like that is a thing. That is a thing that I'm sure Kim Mulkey is telling them, they don't expect y'all to be good. You know, they've been talking about y'all all season. Now let's show them what we all about. You know, that's for sure a thing. For sure a thing. Shout out to Bakari. Bakari the Watchman. I love that name. That sounds like a, I don't know. That kind of sounds like a rapper name or something. I don't know. Bakari the Watchman. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, let's see what else y'all got to say about LSU. Ronald says LSU is balling at the right time. LSU still coming. Michaela just needs to lock in on defense. We can score the ball with or without her. Yeah. Ooh. Bree Wayne says, I believe Iowa will beat Ohio State. Yeah, let's actually talk about that. Let's actually talk about that. So for those who do not know, Ohio State is going to play Iowa on Sunday. And my opinion is that Ohio State will beat Iowa. But I do want to hear what y'all have to say about that. I do anticipate this game going into overtime, possibly, and it being like a very, very narrow fought game. So that game is in Iowa. This as you probably saw, Caitlin said she's not returning to Iowa next season. She is entering the WNBA draft. The game on Sunday is senior night for Iowa. So that is for sure a motivating factor for Iowa to play very well. I do think, though, when it's all said and done, I do think that Ohio State is just going to be a little bit too much for Iowa, and they will come out with the win. We will see what happens, but I really do think that we're going to see Ohio State come out with the win. I mean, it would be good. It would be good for Iowa for them to be able to get the win on their senior night. So you know that would be good for them because you don't want to lose on your senior night. But also, I don't think you want to schedule a game against Ohio State for your senior night. Like, you could have your senior night technically before the last game of the season. Like, I think in general, you want to schedule an easy game for your senior night in general, because you want your seniors to, you know, have all the good vibes and come out on top and all that good stuff. So I do think that this is going to be a battle of a game. It's going to be very, very close. But ultimately, I do believe that Ohio State will come out on top. Let's see what y'all got to say. Robbie says you talk about Alyssa Peely in Utah. We can talk about them. Yep, we can talk about them. Yep. Paris says, I think Ohio State will win. Their defense is good. Yep, I do agree with that. Yep. Ohio State will win that game, but not by much. Agreed. Ohio State beat the refs and the crowd not happening. Brie Wayne, you funny. Let's see. Michaela says, I feel like if we win against Ohio State, it could be a great win to propel us for a deep run. That is true. That is true. Yes, that is very true. Kyra says, Caitlin Clark is definitely putting up 60 on senior night. I mean, that'll be fun to see. That'll be fun to see. Rusty Nail says, senior night, Iowa by 15. All right. I'm liking these predictions. Adrian says, now that Caitlin is going to the W, she is going to try and put on a show. Yeah, I mean, I could absolutely see that. But also I think that, yes, she probably will definitely put on a show. But also, here's one thing that now, guys, let me know in the chat what y'all, how y'all interpreted this. So Caitlin Clark, as we know, she announced her entering the WNBA draft this week. She announced that on yesterday, on Thursday, and the thing about that message is she technically could have waited until, I mean, she could have waited for whenever to make that announcement, but she could have waited, most importantly, to senior night to let folks know that, hey, I will not be returning. We've seen, senior nights from different programs already where Paige Beckers announced that she was returning to UConn on their senior night. I believe Aubrey Griffin from UConn as well announced that. We saw that Cameron Brink said that she still wasn't sure yet. This senior night could have been for Iowa. This could have been a entire ordeal where the crowd is like, they're trying to honor the seniors, but the crowd is like another year, one more year for Caitlin Clark, and it would have outshined the rest of her teammates, like a Gabby Marshall, like a Kate Martin, like a Mighty Molly Davis. That could have affected their sort of experience with senior night, and I think that was pretty awesome that she announced it earlier, so it doesn't outshine her teammates. And when senior night comes on Sunday, all Iowa fans know that this is the last time that you will see Caitlin Clark play in a regular season game for Iowa. And so the conversation wouldn't be about that for senior night. It'll be about just celebrating the legacy of Caitlin Clark and also just celebrating the legacy of her teammates. I thought, I don't know. Let me know, guys, if y'all sort of interpreted it the way that I did, because I really thought that it was a W for her to announce it earlier. Yes, fans are going to be extra hyped to see Caitlin Clark play, and that's going to drive sales and all that stuff. But also, I do think that she was looking out for her teammates. Bear says, I think Caitlin would get people to buy more tickets, but I still don't think she would bring in the fans to watch it on TV. He's talking about the WNBA. Okay. Janae, Janae asked, what happened to the other girl that used to hoop with Caitlin? Did she go pro? I think you're talking about Monica Sano. Monica Sano was drafted in last year's draft to the LA Sparks. She did not make the team. And honestly, I don't know what Monica Sano is doing now. I really don't. But I don't believe she's playing basketball. Ben says, I think Caitlin is out of gas. She's exhausted, in my opinion. I wouldn't doubt it if she's exhausted. I mean, like, she has been on a whirlwind for 4 years now, and especially this year. Like, I feel like this year has been a lot. Just with a lot of people talking about her and the weight of carrying this Iowa team. I'm sure that's a lot. I'm sure it's a lot. But even though it's a lot for her, like, she's still balling. Like, she's still balling out of control. So yeah. Virginia says, hey Q, I'm new on chat but old in the game. Ohio State Sunday by 8. It's gonna be a hot one. How does it get? Yeah, I mean, welcome to the chat, Virginia. Welcome to the awesome people of the internet. Yeah, I agree with you. I do think Ohio State is gonna win. Not sure the exact score, but y'all, it's gonna be a game. This is gonna be a top game on Sunday. There's a lot of games on Sunday for us to watch, but this game is for sure a game that you should be watching. That is for sure. Oh, Coco says she plays in Hungary. Monica Sano, that's awesome. All right. Thank you for letting me know that, Coco. Appreciate it. All right. Bear says, why can't the W bring in the fans who watch NCAA? The ratings for the WNBA finals was bad. So there's a huge difference between the WNBA and women's college basketball. So number one is the legacy feature. College basketball in a lot of ways is driven by college fans in general, whether that's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever it is. A lot of the fandom for college is based off of people who attended that particular school. So that is for sure a thing of sort of built-in fans. Maybe you attended the University of South Carolina, and now you're a huge South Carolina women's basketball fan. Or maybe you grew up in the area and all you saw was like South Carolina everything, because when you're in these college towns growing up, that's all you really see is just that school sort of everywhere. So that's a factor as well. I also think that the college game is very I want to say more, it's less tainted, I would say, in a way, because when you look at the college game in general, it's not just women's basketball. In general, I think that we see, again, amateurs. I mean, these players are like pretty much professional, but they are still amateurs. And I think in terms of a love of the game perspective, I do see that there is a lot more fandom for college sports in general, because these players are doing it for the love of the game, or they're doing it not necessarily because of the money. Now with NIL stuff, money does become a factor, but I think in general there is a sentiment around college basketball fans that women's college basketball in general is a lot more sort of a pure, I would say, than the WNBA in terms of the love of the game, in terms of just engagement, I would say as well. Another factor I would say in the difference between the NCAA and the WNBA is the fact that when we look at college basketball, it's just about college basketball, right? There is no other. You don't see a lot of talk about other stuff. And this is the same for, I would say the same for men's college basketball, men's football. It really is just about the game. It's not about narratives outside of the game. It really is just about the game and sort of hyping up players to make it to that next level. Whereas I think when it comes to professional sports, it's about individual players' platforms. It's about different causes that professional teams want to, or professional leagues want to support and whatnot. And it's a little bit less. It's still, yes, a lot about the sport itself, but it's about causes, and it's not just about the game, I would say. I'm not sure if I'm actually wording that correctly or in a way that makes sense to other people, but I do think that is a factor when you look at college football compared to the NFL, when you look at men's college basketball compared to the NBA, when you look at the women's college basketball in comparison to the WNBA. I think there is there's a distinct difference between the game in college and how it's talked about and the platforms that the players have compared to the actual professional league. I think that's for sure a thing. I would also say that in terms of accessibility, I feel like when it comes to watching games, it's a lot more easier to watch women's college basketball games than it is to watch WNBA games, because for the most part, ESPN has women's college basketball on lock. You also have Fox that has games, and the games are not just on. The games are not just on TV. It's on predominant, like it's on TV channels that people have access to, right? And then you look at the WNBA, where the WNBA is just split all around. You got games on Prime, you got games on Ion, you got games on Twitter, you got games on ESPN, you got games on the various broadcast teams. Like games are everywhere when it comes to WNBA, and I feel like sometimes it's harder to keep up with it than it is for women's college basketball. So I would say in terms of games, and also in terms of hype around the games and visibility around the games, because ESPN has a huge platform for women's college basketball, and because they sort of own women's college basketball, you see it everywhere, and that's and in terms of promoting it and whatnot, it feels more organic for college basketball than it does for the WNBA. So I don't know. Those are like a lot of my thoughts around that particular question around WNBA versus women's college basketball. I do, we all know that women's college basketball is way more popular than the WNBA. I don't know if the WNBA could ever catch up to the popularity of women's college basketball. I really don't. I really don't know if it can, because there's just, as I said earlier, there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of differences between the two. But I as a WNBA fan, I want the WNBA to be very successful. There's some changes that I think they have to make in terms of roster spots and ensuring college players, top college players actually make a roster. And then I also think in terms of just taking a cue from how women's college basketball teams do it, and and making some changes, and yeah, I would just say that is for sure, a thing. I will always support both. I will always enjoy both. But the reality is, women's college basketball is more popular. And across the board, I know a lot of people who say that they love women's college basketball, but they would never support the WNBA. Like that is a thing. That is absolutely a thing that the WNBA has to reckon with. Yeah. But yeah, sorry for that random rant, guys. I like that question just made me think of a lot of stuff. So I do apologize for that rant. Also, if y'all hit that like button, that would be fantastic. We are almost at 150 likes. That would be fantastic if y'all could hit that like button. All right. So we talked about quite a few things, right? So we talked about the top 16 teams in the in women's college basketball right now. This is the list that the committee released. I do feel like we will see quite a few changes in that list. When we're looking at teams that went up, teams that went down, we saw quite a bit of movement between teams. So we saw Iowa go down 2 spots. We saw Oregon State go down 1 spot. We saw in that regional 4, basically everybody just went up. Like everybody. UCLA, Virginia Tech, UConn, Gonzaga. When we look at the regional 2 in Albany, we saw that Colorado just went down like a rock, and because they did lose 3 games straight on the road. So that was a factor, them losing those games on the road. But LSU is on the rise. I do believe that it is very much possible that we will see LSU at a number 2 seed. Yes, there's an argument about them not being a number 2 seed because of their easy schedule. And at some point, the committee has to, in a way, punish teams for having an easier non-conference schedule. That's a thing. And I can see an argument for them being a number 3 seed, but I also see an argument for them being a number 2 seed, mainly because of the fact that 1, they're extremely talented, and 2, they're looking very, very good lately. And they're looking like a team that should be a number 2 seed. We also see We also see some other teams in there that have been doing very, very well. Texas is up 2 spots from last week. We also see Indiana that is up a spot. When we look at a team like UConn, I am not quite sure. I don't know. I'm okay with UConn being a number 3 seed, but I could absolutely see UConn being a number 4 seed. And I think yeah. So I could see them being a number 4 seed. I'll just probably leave it at that. When we look at some of the teams that are not listed in the top 16, teams that are sort of on the bubble, I would say a team that everybody just needs to watch out for is Utah. Utah is a team that I am still kind of confused by. When we look at a team like Utah, one, they have an odd structure in the fact that they basically are like 3 or paint and nothing else in terms of scoring. And that leads them to having some really, really bad offensive nights where they just can't really get it going from the 3-point line, and they lose games. But when they are on, when this team is on, they look really, really good. And so I do think that if you're asking, is there a team that's not in the top 16 right now that can get somebody? I would say Utah. They are a team that can get somebody. I do see some talk in the chat about freshman of the year. Daniel, I would say the freshman of the year is Juju Watkins. Juju Watkins is the freshman of the year. A close second, I would say, is Hannah Hodago. Those are, to me, yes, there are other freshmen who have been doing their thing this season, and I do have planned to make a separate video to talk about just what all of the freshmen have been doing and how they have just elevated the game of women's college basketball in a way that we haven't seen in a while. Like, we are seeing a resurgence of freshmen who are just dominating. But I do think when it's all said and done, this is a 2-man race. This is a 2-man race between Juju Watkins and between Hannah Hodago. But Juju Watkins will win that, and she should win that. In my opinion, Juju Watkins should win that. Hannah, phenomenal, close second. I absolutely love what Hannah Hodago has done at Notre Dame, and the fact that Juju has some height on her, but Hannah is short. Hannah is a shorty and doing what she does. Like, it is like it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool to watch. Absolutely. Corinne says Madison Booker is underrated. She's very underrated. Yeah. Madison Booker is the reason why Texas is where they're at. She has taken over this team and she has been good. Not even good. She's been great. Madison Booker is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And if Juju and Hannah were not freshmen, yes, third in that is Madison Booker, because she has been really, really great for Texas. Vic Schaefer, I'm sure, is like extremely ecstatic at the fact that even with Rory Harmon, who went down, this team of Texas is still very good because of a player like Madison Booker. Disfan9212, thank you so much for the super chat. Where do you see teams like Louisville / Tennessee? I mean, I see them making the tournament. Where? I'm not sure. I think their conference tournament, how they do, will determine that. They'll for sure make the top 68. They will for sure do that. But what seeding there will be, I don't know. Maybe a 6 seed. But yeah, that's my thoughts. That is my thoughts. Yeah. guys, I feel like that might be it for today. There was one topic I really wanted to talk about. Guys, I do want to give you all a sort of heads up about like what to expect from this channel going forward for the next month. So we have the end of the season upon us. The end of the season is on Sunday, and that means that starting next week we have conference tournaments that will be happening. So I will be working very, very hard over the weekend. I took Monday and Tuesday off from work, and I'm going to be working very hard to crank out as many videos as possible. What I want to do is I want to do like proper recaps about the game, about this season, talking about the freshmen who have been killing it, talking about the outgoing seniors who have been doing their thing for their teams, talking about the different conferences, and sort of doing some analysis about not just the big conferences that we know about, but sort of all the conferences and what's been happening from the top conferences like the Pac-12 to the SWAC to the Ivy League to all the different conferences. I want to sort of do recaps about those conferences and let you all know what happened. I also want to talk about what we can expect in the NCAA tournament. I will be working at a sort of pre-show analysis about what my predictions are for the NCAA tournament. And just sort of going through all 68 teams that I think is going to make it, and then also what the results will actually be. Once we actually get into the tournament, turns out I am not able to. I was trying to go to the NCAA tournament this year. It is not in the cards, unfortunately, but I will be making tons of videos. The goal is after the games are over, we will see different videos that'll go out, just sort of recapping some of the teams that lost, recapping their season. We're gonna. Yeah, so basically what I want to do is give proper farewells to every team that loses in the NCAA tournament. That requires a lot of work. So I am trying to store sort of build up a lot of inventory with my research and whatnot about these different teams, so I can really crank out videos. The goal is to do at least one video a day throughout the entire month of March, leading into the Final Four and in the championship game. But yeah, so guys, that is sort of the plan. Hopefully y'all rock with me throughout. But yeah, it should be a really good time. I want to make sure that you all stay sort of aware of what's happening with women's college basketball, not just the top teams. Like I know we talk about the top teams and that's great, but there is so much more to women's college basketball than the top 25, and I do want to do a better job at talking about that, and you can expect videos talking about that. You can also expect videos talking about some transfer sort of talk and what I think could happen on that front. I'm going to be making some videos about the incoming freshmen that we're going to have, and talking about where some of these players are going. So yeah, there's lots of videos that are coming up, and I will be going crazy this weekend, really doing a ton of research and sort of pre-making videos in anticipation of what's going to happen. So yeah, I hope y'all appreciate it. But yeah, that's sort of the game plan for the way the rest of the month will look for March, y'all. March is here. This is the time that we have been waiting for, and I am just so excited. And I will be for sure put in the work in. And I do appreciate you all's feedback, the good and the bad. I really do appreciate it. So if y'all have suggestions about different videos y'all want to see, y'all can either leave a comment in the chat, or because I do actually relook at the chat after the fact to see any comments that I missed during the stream. Also, you can email me at quitalovesports@gmail.com. The thing is, it's not Quita Loves Sports at gmail.com because it's only one S. So Quita Love Sports. There's no two S's. But with loves and sports at gmail.com. Y'all can email me. I'm getting better at responding to emails. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's sort of the game plan. I did just want to talk about that and let you all know what's going on. Yeah, I do appreciate all of y'all for rocking with me. Y'all, I'm about to eat me some pizza, and I'm about to get to work making more videos. So y'all got some stuff to watch to ensure that y'all are caught up with what is happening in women's college basketball. All right. Shout out to Adrian. Thank you so much for the super chat. Adrian says, "Quita, we appreciate you." I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. For yeah, it's been a while, y'all. We are almost at a year. We're almost at a year. So yeah, that is a thing. That is a thing, and it's wild to imagine that it's almost been a year. Thank you, Marcia. Marcia says, "Appreciate you and your hard work, Quita, on top of your full time." Yeah. Y'all, I have had the least amount of sleep that I've had in a long time this year, just on because I do my job, and then I at 5:30. 6 o'clock, I transition to doing this stuff. Even if I'm not going live, I'm watching a game or sort of doing something related to women's basketball. And I do it because I love it. I do. I really do love it. So it's fun. It's fun for me, but it is also a lot of random work, a lot. But I want to talk to y'all. I want to engage with y'all. So it's a good time. Michael, thanks so much for the super chat. I really, really do appreciate that. Also, thank you, KA, for the super chat as well. I really do appreciate y'all. Yeah, that's sort of my rundown about what is happening with me, and what I will be putting out for the remainder of March. Again, if y'all have suggestions about content, about different angles y'all want someone to talk about, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Send me an email. Also, if y'all happen to know any of these players personally, I would love to interview some players or some coaches. So if y'all know anybody, connect me with them via email. Yeah, I want to get some interviews with some of these players. I've been reaching out to people, just waiting on someone to say yes. Just waiting on somebody to say yes. But yeah, I do appreciate y'all. But if y'all know somebody, if y'all know players, active or former, coaches, active or former, I love to talk to them about the game. Shout out to Michelle. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really do appreciate it. All right. Joe Joe said, "You never told us what you're eating tonight." I'm eating pizza. So yesterday I went and got Domino's pizza, and I still got some leftover. I had a what was it, barbecue chicken pizza from Domino's. I had y'all, if y'all don't know, for the most part I buy all my pizza on discount. So I had a coupon for 50% off Domino's pizza, like a regular pizza 50% off. So that's what I did. So yeah, that was pretty nice. So yeah, so I'm gonna eat that tonight. All right, guys. I just got an email from somebody about what software I'm using to make videos. So I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say it now. So if the person who just emailed me is watching, I'll also reply to this person. But Why y'all talking about Domino's? Keepa says Domino's is trash. I mean, it's not the best pizza, but like, it's pizza. Like, I mean, the thing is, yes, when you're talking about the best pizza, yes, you're gonna, in my opinion, you're gonna get a Giordano's, you're gonna get a Illuminati's, but if you're on the cheap side, you're gonna go for Domino's. You're gonna go for Domino's. I'm just saying. All right. So yeah, for those who are wondering, the software that I use for the live streams, I'm using Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is a software that is only for Macs. So you can only use it for Macs. It is not available on PC, but that is what I'm using for the live. So right now I am using Ecamm Live. For the actual for my actual produced videos, I use a software called DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is free and it's available on all platforms. It's available on Mac. It's available on PC. That is the software that I use. You can also use Premiere Pro, but you have to pay for Premiere Pro. I know how to use Premiere Pro. I use Premiere Pro for work, but for personal, I'm not paying for Premiere Pro for a monthly license. So I do pay for, I do have DaVinci Resolve. It is free. However, I did pay for the upgrade. It's a one-time upgrade cost. But for the most part, you can use DaVinci Resolve and have no problem using it for years and years and years without paying anything. So yeah, if y'all are interested in doing video for y'all selves, I highly recommend y'all get DaVinci Resolve. I don't understand why DaVinci Resolve is not promoted the way it should be, because like it is free. It is free. So yeah, I highly recommend, if y'all want to make videos, use DaVinci Resolve. It's free. You do have to pay for Ecamm Live. So that's a thing. I believe it's a yearly cost that you have to pay for Ecamm Live. But again, that's only when you're trying to go live. All right. Hopefully, the person who just emailed me is watching this and just heard that. If not, I will email them back. Y'all talking all about. JV says Marco's is much better than Domino's. The reason why I got Domino's is because I had the 50% off. Like I'm all about saving money. That's my thing. I'm all about saving money. I'm a pretty frugal person. Janae says Pizza Hut is still my go-to. I like Pizza Hut too. But ultimately, it's about what you can get the best bang for your buck. Dee from Tennessee says Geno's. Geno's does have good pizza. Yeah, Geno's does have good pizza. All right, guys. So I hope y'all are eating some pizza. Y'all talking. We talked since we talking about pizza. Yeah. Hope y'all are eating some very good pizza this weekend. I do need to start branching out and eating different stuff. Usually when I like eat out, it's not really eating out, but like when I decide to eat something that I didn't cook myself, for the most part, it's like cheap pizza. For the most part, except for that last, what was it, like 2 weeks ago or whatever, when y'all when y'all were like, no, you get some good pizza, get some Illuminati's pizza. But yeah, usually if I'm eating out somewhere and I'm not eating like what I cooked at home, I am eating for the most part cheap pizza. But I do like me some Chipotle. I do go to Chipotle sometimes, but Chipotle be expensive though. So I don't go to Chipotle like that. But anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic Friday. Do something fun. Be safe. And just have an awesome time, guys. I will talk to y'all very, very soon. Tomorrow, be on the lookout for some videos, and then going forward, be on the lookout for some fantastic videos. Yeah. Y'all rock. Janae said we're taking your head off so you won't get off the slide. I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all have a fantastic time. If y'all have not hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. The goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers. The goal was to hit that before the tournament started, which they're gonna announce it on what am I trying to say? On the 17th of March, we're gonna find out who's in the the tournament. So before that, if we can get to 10,000 subscribers, that would be fantastic. If not, no worries. I don't know. Subscribers don't really mean much, but I think it's just like it's fun to have goals. So that's my goal. We'll see if I hit it. I don't know. I may not. But if y'all have not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Officer Davis, it is too late. We about to leave off this thing. We about to leave off this thing. Vic says off to find Q some coupons. I mean, hey, I'm down for some coupons, man. It's all about saving money. It's all about saving money. I mean, the economy sucks, It's it really does. So yeah. So yeah, I'm down for saving some money. Yeah, if y'all got some coupons, send them my way. Anyway, y'all, I'm never gonna get off the streams. I'm just about to end it right now. Y'all have a fantastic day. Rest of your day. Be safe. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your weekend. Do something fun. Do something fun with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, anybody. Just do something fun. Have a good time. Officer David says Quita got new hair. Yeah. So yeah, yesterday, I wanted to go live yesterday after the games that happened. There's a lot of games that happened yesterday, and I wanted to go live, but I couldn't because I was getting my hair braided. So I got my hair braided yesterday. So I had to take it down and yeah. So yeah. That is yeah. I got my braids done. So usually after I get my braids done, I have it down for like a day or two, because it hurts to kind of pull it up into a ponytail. So yeah, it'll be in a ponytail probably for the next video. But yeah. So I did get my hair done yesterday. That is why I did not go live. Also, that's why yesterday's video about Caitlin Clark, that's why I wasn't in that video at all, because I was like, oh crap, this happened. I wanna make a video about it, but I also can't because my hair is not done. So yeah. Anyway, oh my God, you guys keep having stuff to say. So oh, thank you, Luminera. I appreciate that. Quita attracts a great community to go women's basketball. Yeah. I mean, that's what I try to do. Oh, Didi got a personal chef in Chicago who will help you out. I'm game for it. I am game for it. All right. Okay, there's some commentary about UConn and the people that they recruit. I don't know nothing about that, so I'm gonna look into it. And I'll try to make a video about it. I don't really know nothing about that, so yeah. Oh, you were the person? All right. Now I'm glad you were still here. I can still reply to you, but it's gonna be the same answer. I just y'all hit his dog. Y'all hit his dog barking. Y'all, I think Mr. President is telling me it's time to get off because he barking too much for me. He like get off this live. But y'all some awesome people. I love rocking with y'all. Y'all be hilarious in this chat. Like keep it coming, y'all. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to all the awesome people. Y'all. Dre, we ain't doing that. Dre, we ain't doing that. Dre says we need Quita for 3 more hours. We ain't doing that. I feel like I've had at least 1 3-hour stream, but today is not one. I was up until like 2 a.m. getting my hair braided last night. And then I had to go to sleep and then wake up and get work done, a lot of work done. Now I'm doing this. So yeah. President Davis ain't get away from Quita House. So president ain't happy. Yeah, he does want some pizza. So y'all see, Mr. President, he looking over at me like, what, why you saying my name for? Why you saying my name? Anyway, okay. this is it, guys. I am. Janae says we need a hair tutorial. We bored. I don't know how to braid my hair. I don't know how to braid my hair, but I have a sister that can braid hair, y'all. She hooked me up. When y'all see my hair with a hairstyle, that's my sister. You know, who she know how to do my hair, and that's, you know, if y'all see when my hair starts to get old a little bit and get a little bit frizzy, she'd be like, okay, all right, I'm about to do your hair tonight. And I'm like, okay, y'all. If you know, if you are a black female, you know that hair is a huge thing. It is a huge thing. So it is incredibly important to have somebody who can do your hair. You know, as I said, I am on the cheaper side. I don't want to pay I don't want to pay to go to a shop to get my hair braided. I have done that in the past, and there's no shame in that at all. Absolutely. However, I am blessed to have someone in my family who can braid hair and can make sure I don't look a mess. So shout out to her for doing that. Anyway, okay, guys, bye. I hope y'all have a fantastic time. Yeah. Awesome people of the internet. Thank y'all for hanging out for another edition of Awesome People of the Internet Friday Hangout. I hope y'all have a fantastic night. Until next time, guys. Bye.